really a lot of features compared to the same price point on the CX-50. Hey, I'm Jonathan Sewell Sales of Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise, Alabama. And you can see over my shoulder is a beautiful Polymetal Gray 2022 CX-30 Premium Plus. Of course, this is the turbo. And we're gonna go inside, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna go all the way around so that you can decide if this top model is the right one for you. So let's jump in.
More car vids. More car vids.
As we get started up front, just from walking up on this, it actually looks like the Carbon Edition because of the black wheels that all turbos have. And of course, this special color on the CX-30, which is a $395 upcharge for the Polymetal Gray. So as we start to look from the front, you do upgrade to the signature lighting, and we'll try to get those on in just a minute so you can see the extra LEDs. Of course, it's a projector beam, so more focused and able to light up the road in front of you. Of course, in 2022, we went all-wheel drive, but all the turbos previously were all-wheel drive, so really not much changes as far as drivetrain from 2021 to 2022. Of course, this was an all-new model for 21, and the turbo engine was all new, so it was very exciting, and still as exciting as we'll dive into some of the features that make this very special as the only model, the top trim, with those features available. Of course, you can see with this full logo or emblem here that we do have radar cruise control and the smart brake support available. Also, the camera up top of the windshield involves or brings auto high beams, lane departure alert, lane keep assist. One of the things that I love about the styling of the CX-30 is the little LED strips down here, and we'll try to get a look at those as well before we finish up. Of course, they're 18-inch wheels once you get to the second trim level and all the way up. And as I mentioned, other than the Carbon Edition, it's the same style wheel as all the other 18s, but it's black on the Carbon Edition and black on the 3 turbo models. Also, you get the black side mirrors like you would see on the Carbon Edition, have a nice little LED strip there. And underneath, you can see one of the differences on the Premium Plus, it actually has the 360 monitor. Also, there were some changes in 22, but these roof rails are available on this package as well, or standard. Let me rephrase that, on several coming up. 21 and 22 and 2020 changed all that. So you get more availability of the roof rails, which kind of ties into this chrome around. Of course, you could, black out the signature wing and everything to make it really special. You still have these big, thick cladding on the CX-30. And as we take a step back, this one just looks a little bit more squatty than the CX-5. And a lot of that has to do, in my opinion, with these big cladding areas here. So it just a little bit less sheet metal is what it looks like. And of course, the windows are a little smaller as well. This is the same platform that the CX-50 is on, so you can see a lot of similarities. One thing that I like is you can see my reflection of my legs is that little S curve right there on the side. Kind of gives that soul of motion Kodo design. Even though the car is standing still, everything, the light's bending off of it. It's amazing that they can do that on sheet metal, but you can see that design there, and it's just fantastic and very impressive in Mazda's design elements. As we go around the side here, the side mirror right here, you can see the little triangle or hazard for the blind spot monitor and rear cross traffic. This is also a auto dimming side mirror. So if you get some bright lights there, it'll automatically dim down. And of course, on the CX-30, they don't have fold-in mirrors, but they do have tilting mirrors when you put it in reverse, so you can see a little bit better. So that's very important as well. Also, we didn't talk about it up front, but you have front and rear sensors. So these proximity sensors, as we've seen in the last couple of years, do a couple of things. Number one, of course, it lets you know if something's behind you and you can't see it that well. Also, it gives you two other safety features that are not available on any other CX-30. That's the rear cross traffic braking. If it senses somebody coming in the cross path here, it will automatically brake if necessary, as well as smart brake support. So even if it's not a cross traffic here, if you're backing up and you neglect to apply the brakes, it may apply the brakes for you. So it's some great use of technology that's been around for a few years. We see the badging here. The emblems are nice and chrome, matches this Mazda logo here. So the all-wheel drive and the turbo, which they incorporated on more vehicles as they made that turbo available. One thing to also point out before we jump inside is this one still has a power liftgate, which is standard on the premium and higher. So a great feature for this vehicle, but also many more CX-30s. And of course, we're seeing a little bit of a decrease in that as we, on other vehicle lines, as we still battle the chips, the lack of chips. LED lighting inside, which is really nice, a 60-40 split here. So you can fold those down and your releases are up here in the shoulder. This one's actually already loose. So you can see that, how it releases and locks right there. And this one does have the upgraded all-weather mats, so you still have the cargo mats there as well. And one of my favorite features in Xander's, he calls it the ultimate lock. You can just hit this button. And of course, I don't want to lock the doors, but you can hit this button and lock as it lowers as you're walking away from the vehicle. I'm just going to hit this one to lower that down. Also have a button inside and, of course, a button on the key fob. Do need to point out, too, that nice-looking rear outlets there on the turbo look really stylish, and I'm glad that they're, functional, as we still have some questions to answer on the new crossovers, the CX-90 coming first. So a beautiful car. It's getting a little dark. Let's take a quick peek under the hood, and then we'll jump inside. What's really beautiful to me about a brand new car is how clean the engine is. So, of course, we got the big Skyactiv G turbo right here. You can see the dipstick and oil. Also, the computer components to control this turbo back here. And this is a similar design to what we see in other products, other vehicle lines. Similar layout in this turbo, but it's still impressive to me every time I look it up, knowing that it has 250 horsepower with premium fuel, 227. Then we also see 320 foot-pounds of torque, which is unbelievable. So 320, and that's just impressive. A lot of breathing here to go back to that turbo and give that extra little boost. So everything else is pretty typical. Clear fluid containers, of course, have extra gaskets in here to minimize vibrations and sounds going around to close it up, and even soundproof the top of the hood there, or the bottom side of the hood, but above the engine. So just really nice. Now, the other thing that you'll notice on the inside is this is a beautiful design of black and brown combination here, and the first thing you notice on this door card is that right there. So yes, this one has the Bose 12 speaker sound with center point, and it's something that some of the premium models are coming without now, as there's some Bose module limitations in production. But this one, the top model, still has it. Love the design of this door card. Love how it accents with the brown, the stitching here, and the chrome effects, how that handle's just tied into that trim piece. Very beautiful. Hard to see without the bright light, but this is black. These perforated seats actually have a layer of brown underneath to give you kind of a more of a 3D look as far as the color. Ties in well with the brown over the console here and above the dash. Again, there's those all-weather mats there. 8.8-inch screen here, and you can kind of see the brown carrying over with this stitch design, and here's how it ties in going across. The fit and finish is really nice on this CX-30. And of course, we'll turn this on real quick. There's the chime that everybody loves, says nobody. And we'll just turn that down. I'm not going to buckle up, so you just have to live with that chime. But of course, we have this digital speedometer that's not available in other vehicles except for the Mazda 3 and the CX-50. I know the CX-5 folks really want it, but it's a full display here. You can see how everything's kind of lit up and where it's located, so you have great visibility. And what's this right here? Another option, Premium Plus only, the traffic jam assist. So you can turn that on right here on the steering wheel. As you turn that off, as I just did, you see that the cruise goes away, because you have to have the cruise on for that to work. And of course, that's a steering assist as you're going up and down highway. So it gives a little bit of a steering assist or lane centering, which is pretty nice. There's a look at that 8.8 inch on one of my favorite XM channels. And here's a look up here with your rear seatbelt notification. And right underneath here, you see these 3 buttons here on this frameless mirror. Another option that's only on the Premium Plus. Of course, you can upgrade to this mirror on others, but it's the Home Link. Do have a moonroof inside, sunglass holders, more LEDs in the rear. It's just very nice, very upgraded. And right underneath here, a nice combination of storage and power. So you have a DC, 2 USBs, and your cup holders are pushed front up here. Then, of course, you have heated steering wheel, which is nice, and heated seats up front, as well as many other features on this vehicle, such as we talked about the 360 view. Also have memory seats, power seats. You see this here is your off-road traction assist, and windshield wiper de-icer, automatic headlights, automatic wipers. That's what I was looking for. And so very, very chock full of features. And there's a look in the back seat. Again, we're not going to hop back there. Matter of fact, I'm going to crank this up so we can go around and just see how the lights look. Then we'll finish it up. Okay, here's a look at the signature lighting. And it's kind of hard to see those rings, but you can see the side here, which is really nice. And then that front ring, you know, 3-dimension coming out at you, and really sharp looking at night. Have this accent light here, and then there's those strips down at the bottom, which I love. So you can see how the timing is at pulsing, and it's really timed up with the side mirrors. It's kind of hard to see that and track that, but it's great in real life. And of course, those stay on, whereas these go all the way off. So that's a little bit of the difference. As we walk around the back here, the same signature lighting style, the same kind of pulsing on those tail lights. And of course, you have LEDs over the tag as well, and similar design with the stripes here and the ring. So it really comes in looking really nice. And then, of course, your reverse lights are right over here. And then this design, kind of like a katana blade here, really looks fantastic and ties into some of the Japanese heritage here. So here is the 22 CX-30 Premium Plus. I am Jonathan Sewell Sales at Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise. If you have any additional questions about CX-30 or this Premium Plus model, feel free to drop them down below, or you can text me at 334-718-0504. I am very impressed by this vehicle, and considering that it's still less than the top model CX-5, and really a lot of features compared to the same price point on the CX-50. This is a good one to consider, especially with the turbo and especially with the all-wheel drive. Polymetal gray, black with brown interior accents, very beautiful. I can't wait to see you in your beautiful Mazda.